and a media marketing consultant, Khadija Tebo. Many thanks for joining me.
Thank you
Khadija.
for having me.
Yes, earlier you sent me one of your presentations, and from what I could see, if on a lighter note, you said you are not a farmer.
No.
Exactly. You are not a manufacturer nor a producer. You are just
a food and beverage industry enthusiast.
And not a foodie.
I'm not a foodie, funnily.
So what happened?
Well,
tell us about it.
So
how did you get into this industry?
Some people like fashion, some people like sport, and I would analyze it almost about with anything. But when I enter a food store, I'm interested in the new product. I'm interested in the packaging. I'm interested in what is new. Compare the foreign with the local one. So it is easier for me to talk about the industry because I study it. Someone might talk about agriculture because the person is a farmer. I will talk about agriculture, I will talk about producing, I will talk about processing, I will pick up different industry from dairy to food technology to biotechnology, and all of that put together. What does it make me? A food and beverage enthusiast.
Even without you being a foodie.
Yes, without me being a foodie.
Food is very essential.
Yes.
And we would say it's like the life of any economy, because if the citizens do not have food to eat, then there's a lot of problem. So now we have this population rising every day. It's a very critical sector that we must talk about. The issue of insecurity is one that is really, really growing by the day, and we still have a lot of challenges there handling that area. But let's look at your assessment generally. What's your assessment of that industry?
Okay, let me give let me start like this. We would eat no matter what happens. Nigeria is blessed with the best of farmlands. One of our major challenges is from the farm to the final consumer. So we have a lot of wastages in between. Now, within that small space is a huge industry. There is biotechnology for those who can give us what we can use to preserve our product. There is transportation in between. There is processing to preserve the food. There is brand and marketing. If a product is put into packaged product, someone needs to brand. There is photography. There is a whole lot that encompasses that particular, the whole idea. So if you take the food and beverage industry on its own, it opens up a whole lot of market for other things. And it actually is the most silent industry. Nobody really talks about it. You talk about agriculture, or we talk about infrastructure, we talk about light. But we don't take the industry as a whole because it's a whole food value chain. So you pick food, someone who makes akara needs so many things to make akara happen. Now, he or she may not want to use power, but he or she needs the product to get to them. The person who plants the beans needs some certain things. Between this person and this person, is always something missing in between. And because of our inadequate power, the opportunity for food processing is this huge. So most of the companies that have come into Nigeria have taken advantage of it because they are exposed to how we can preserve those products.
What you have said, it's a very long chain, and with what you have also said, it's a very silent industry that is not so much talked about. And SMEs or food generally contribute so much to our GDP.
Yes.
Agriculture contributes so much to our GDP. But SME development in that area is suffering from what I can get from what you're saying. Now, how can we drive the development, especially SMEs? With the cliche, SMEs drive any economy, that drive the growth of any economy. So how can we contribute more to development of SMEs in the food and beverages industry? Okay,
we call them, there is the formal and the informal sector. The formal ones are the ones that you see. The informal ones are the largest, but they are the most silent.
Exactly.
So one of the issues we normally would have was NAFDAC, that getting approval to start a packaged product takes a while. Packaging products into what you can consume and put it in the shelf requires NAFDAC approval, which we never used to do before. So because there are more stringent rules to make sure that these products are safe for consumption. So we have a lot of SMEs holding back on what they can do. Let me give an example. I do a food and beverage fair, and I've seen 1 or 2, 3 people that we give chances. Okay, the first year they come with the table and place their product in. 4 years down the line, they are paying for a bigger store because they get exposure to what they can do to make their products better. So someone travels abroad and brings the technology, and the person uses the technology to benefit their own self. Imagine I bring a technology that can help 50 people to be able to preserve a particular kind of product. Do you know what we have done? We would have improved the life of 50 other people. Let's even say it is 5% of them that took that. They would employ. They would, they would do so many things with growing their businesses. Okay, that's one. Look at the dairy industry. Nigeria produces 35% of dairy we need. That's milk.
35%?
35% of what we need. That is 65% lacking. Oh, fortunately, the president just came back from Netherlands and they signed a couple of deals with the Netherlands. So which shows that government too is listening and they're watching. It will take us a while and they're looking into that area. Okay. So trade fair, a specialized trade fair, are usually a tool for development. You know, what we see here is when we want to do fair, we always think about it, what we will sell. But it's actually a tool for development and growth for the economy. So we'll bring in foreign exhibitors who comes and shows their product. The small SME sees it. And what does it do? It takes it, you know, what is being done here? Exposure.
You actually let the cat out of the bag. I was going to talk about festivals, you know, food festivals. Okay. And it seems many people get that wrong perception of what the gains of food festivals. But you have tried to explain some of those things to us. But how, on the long run, can we get food festivals to drive growth of SMEs?
There are two things, yeah. Food and beverage, the trade shows and there are festivals. Okay. Food and beverage trade fair or trade show, which could carry both fair, festival, and conference, becomes a tool for development. In what way? So, foreign investors or foreign exhibitor comes in, like I was explaining before.
Initially.
And the small SMEs, we have master classes. Say we pick, let's say we pick dairy, and we bring a company in the Netherlands that does dairy very well. And we ask all the people that are interested in this to attend a master class. What have you done? Instead of sending 10 people abroad, you bring one person who can train a whole lot of them. Because it's also an economy that people want to come in, because we have a population that has a need. So what do? Those people are ready to come in. You just need a share of the market. Let's just say, as long as 10% of Nigerian population just hold on to it. The market is big enough for everyone. The more there is food, the more we can, we can consume. It will not be on what you have or what you cannot. Everybody wants to take milk, but you just look at the budget of what you have, and you're not able to buy as much as you want. But imagine if there is abundance, then it is easier to buy more, and you consume more. Just like the development in the telecommunication industry. We will say, oh, you're not going to make us, but we are a talking community. We still make the call anyway. So those trade fair is not just come and eat, no. It's for you to benchmark yourself. You come 2018 and you see what you've done. When you come in 2019,
setting a target for yourself.
You're setting a target for yourself as to give yourself those kind of. And today we now have agripreneurs. Yeah, before we just have farmers. Now we have agripreneurs who can produce plantain and turn it into chips. Now younger people are going into it and are proud of it. So imagine you have 10 graduates who are farmers who come here to display their product. And we find 3 other people who are food technologists who could take their product and turn it into processed food. If you don't bring them together, how do you find them?
Well, I guess it's all about branding and finding a way to package these products and package any sector in a very favorable way that will encourage the development of any economy. Well, we have to leave it at that. Khadija Tebo, an entrepreneur and also a media marketing consultant. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Business Nigeria.